Again, welcome everybody to another wonderful world of Madden. Would say Madden 17, but Madden 18 right around the corner. This is your host, Tim Ghost. Timberland the Ghost. Represent Fight Club Gamers. Today's podcast. Woo! It's going to be a good one. What went wrong in Madden 17? Give us a chance to reflect. I know we got Madden 18 right around the corner. We got some gameplay coming out. We got a lot of different things that I'm very excited about. But we just want to reflect on Madden 17 at that point. So strap in, tune in, so we can give this show a go, fellas. So, I'll just tone it down a bit. What are some things that went wrong? And we're going to call it collateral damage. What are some things that went wrong in Madden 17? But before I go into what went wrong, I gotta talk to you about what went right in Madden 17. You know, especially coming from Madden 16 to Madden 17, some of the things that were done right. EA, you did a great job on this. Everything can be improved upon, but you did a great job on this. The new zones. I know, I hear you guys out there. All zones don't work right. I hate the purple zone. I hate this zone or that zone. Or why is my person following this person? They're supposed to be in zone. But to be perfectly honest, the blueprint of how the different zones are laid out, I love it. You got cloud flats, you got hard flats, you just got all the different variations where you can. It just gives the user more control of where they want their defender to be. You have to be great on your quick adjust. You don't want to have to cipher through all those people to put them in their zones or whatever the case may be. But you have the ability to manipulate your defense to whatever you like and the strength of your personnel. So just having more options in zone, that was a great thing in Madden 17. The graphics. Even the graphics were better in Madden 17 and Madden 18. Didn't seem like it at first, especially when you saw the first screenshots. If you think way back to last June, July, and August, and you saw the first screenshots, everything kind of looked the same until you start playing and you realize the scoreboard looks different, the names in the title, the connected franchise, all things look different. And speaking of connected franchise, that's another thing they got right. You can always improve upon, but the ability from the force win standpoint to how you earn XP, seeing your goals. And to be perfectly honest, just more control as a commissioner. I run a connected franchise league. I got a few connected franchise leagues, and just having that control as a commissioner, where you can cap certain things, you can go back and edit certain things. Now that's a lot of power, a lot of responsibility, but they put it in your hands. There's a few things I would change about that, especially the reporting of the transactions, but giving them more control as a commissioner is something that was good in Madden 17. Even having a combine, stats awards, all those different things, that was something that was good in Madden 17. You can't talk about Madden 17 without talking about MUT. MUT was as popular as ever. That game mode grew and it's going to continue to grow, especially in Madden 18 where you have MUT squads. Chances are very high all the Madden 18 challenges, EA challenges, are going to be centered around some sort of MUT. They say draft champions will be out, so I guess salary cap is going to be the main wave for it. So you're just going to have more and more people playing on the MUT format, and they changed some game modes to make it even more competitive. So MUT is here to stay. Some people say MUT is the death of the regs. I don't think so. I think you're still going to have some head-to-head play, some tournaments, some different things. But a lot of times, connected franchise is going to be where a lot of the reg users go. And MUT is really going to step up. And the more popular the EA challenges get and esports coming in, MUT is going to be the game mode. Imagine you and your buddies up on that esports stage and y'all playing 3-on-3 against somebody else and y'all sitting in those chairs. You know the esports games, fellas. You know it. And if you don't, you're going to get to know it because we're going to have more guests on the show talking about esports. But I digress. But MUT definitely brought more people to the game. Well, it's draft champion, salary cap, whatever the mode is. It's a great mode. If you haven't played it, log into it and play it. I know a lot of people in the community play Connected Franchise and Regs, but if you have an opportunity to play MUT, salary cap, draft champions, venture over to it. It's a great mode. It's a great mode. Hey, but that's where we cut it, and we talk about the collateral damage part. What went wrong in Madden 17? I know there's a lot of things you can say went wrong with Madden 17, but when I really think about this one thing and it spawned so many other different things, I say this got to be the top thing that changed Madden 17, Madden 18, the gameplay on this portion of it. Wait for it. Nano detection system. And you say, how can you say that, Timberland? How can you say that? It helps so much. It stopped the DT from coming in. So if you never played Madden 15, 16, different ones and previous version, a nano is when a defender pretty much gets in the backfield in a nanosecond. That's why they call it a nano. Gets back there in a nanosecond. And it's done between a series of setups before the play is designed to pretty much trick the artificial intelligence, the AI, into not blocking a certain guy and the guy just coming back in and making a quick play on your quarterback without being blocked. It was very annoying. It was very hard to block. You have to do a lot of different things to try to block a nano. It's very unnecessary. And when you first heard of nano detection system, it sounded like it made the most sense. But let me tell you, it's good. It just got to be tweaked. I think it's a year away, 2 years away. It just needs to be tweaked the right way. But the nano detection system stopped the lineman and sometimes even the linebacker from just coming in straight blitz, no block there. It'll stop you right in your tracks and you can't make the play, and it just freezes you for a moment so you can get off your play. It seemed like very useful. But let me tell you what that spawned. This is the collateral damage part. If you stop every single blitz up the middle, if you stop heat, if you stop A and B gap heat, if you stop the heat coming up the middle, what does that leave open? Edge heat, right? There's no nano detection on edge heat. And on defense, there's only so many plays that have edge heat. And go even further, there's only so many plays that have edge sheet. There's only so many good plays that have edge sheet. So you're like, what are you saying, Timbo? What are you saying, Ghost? What are you trying to get at? What I'm saying is it created a lot of people doing a lot of community plays. Meaning everybody was running the same blitzes, the same things on defense to create pressure on your quarterback, i.e. the DB Fire Monsters and the Nickel Blitz Warriors. That's a phrase that we have in Fight Club gamers. We call people the Nickel Blitz Warriors or the DB Fire Monsters or whatever the case may be, because people spam those plays. And why do people spam those plays? It's because you don't have a variety in how you bring pressure to the offense. So you only got one way to bring pressure, and that's on the edge. And you find one or two plays that can do it consistently, and you abuse it. That's what happens. And that's one of the things that spawned it. It created edge heat. Yes, that's good. And sometimes it created a situation where when you're on offense, your players aren't smart enough to pick up that edge heat. So sometimes you can bring 3 defenders and get the same pressure as if you were sending 5 or 6. And that shouldn't be. But hey, that edge pressure was OD and people knew how to manipulate it, and that spawned a lot of community plays, a lot of copycats, and a lot of spamming of 1 or 2 plays on defense. And you know, you move up the ranks and you start playing people, you start seeing people use the same exact play every time and just try to manipulate their defense off of that and try to get pressure on you. I've seen a lot. I've seen plenty of times where every play somebody picks nickel blitz and they do the same setup to get that edge pressure. Collateral damage. Collateral damage. You stop pressure up the middle. That opens it up for people to do copycat blitzes off of the edge. You still have blitzes up the middle. Hey, people may have more variety in their play set because now they can bring pressure from different ways. But if you can only bring pressure from one way, it's going to be edge pressure, and it's going to be the best play that brings edge pressure. Unblockable at that. And if you could put max people in coverage, why not do that? Hey, Fight Club game, we got B More. B More told me, hey, Timberland Ghost, this not the Madden to try to get creative on defense. I said, nah, man, I could pick some plays. I could figure out how to do some setups to get some pressure here and there. He said, again, this is not the year to be creative on defense. You got to go with the flow. You got to go with the tide. I was like, no, I could figure it out. And you know what? I'm in July still trying to figure it out while everybody else realized that edge heat is what's going to get it. And they learned how to perfect it. And they ran with it all this man because they knew that's what it was. So we need a solution, right? A lot of times there's a problem, there has to be a solution. Guys, ID to Mike coming out is going to be great. But even with ID to Mike, we got to get back to being creative and unique with our play call on offense and defense. I'm just talking about nanodetection on defense. There's a lot of things on offense that was copycat too, but we just got to get back to being more creative and unique with our play calls. And hopefully if you could be a variety on defense, you can have a variety of plays on offense at that point. Got to cut out the copycat games. I know people studying people's Twitch, their streams, and learning the setups. And I get it. There's always going to be plays to work. But we got to get back to being Madden heads and being creative and being unique with our play calling. Nothing wrong with having a lot of plays in the playbook. Find you a good playbook. Find you a mini scheme. Create you a mini scheme out of a lot of different formations. And figure out how to get wins that way. And be more creative. Don't be a part of the collateral damage. Be a solution of it. This is your host, Timberland the Ghost. I just want to put my 2 cents out there of what went wrong in Madden 17, the collateral damage edition. I'm telling you guys the solution. Be more creative. You don't have to be a copycat out there. Be original at that point. Find what works for you and make it happen. This is your host, Timberland the Ghost, Fight Club Gamers, www, a whole bunch of W's, .fightclubgamers.com. You can find me on Twitter, Tim Ghost. Tweet me. Let me know what you think about this. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we are out.